Music and sound effects are a key part of the gaming experience and are inseparable from some of the greatest moments in gaming. I've made a few videos now learning about programming for the Game Boy Advance and building demos for backgrounds, sprites, graphics effects, hardware timers, and a few other things. But the one thing I haven't touched yet is audio, and frankly, I'm scared. The original Game Boy creates its audio kind of like a synthesizer. You can set the volume and the pitch and the duration of the note, but the Game Boy is actually creating the sound waves that you hear. The GBA has that capability as well, but it also can take and play back sound waves that you give it. Kind of like plugging your phone into speakers or headphones. The GBA stores a digital version of those sound waves and then gives it to the speakers to play. No generating sound waves at all. I really enjoy building things from scratch and understanding the fundamentals to build my own version of these tools. So what do I need to make my own sound system for the GBA? Well, we need to be able to create those digital sound waves from earlier to form a song, and then we need to be able to play that song on the GBA. And I would love to tell you that I worked for weeks on this and built my own version of both of these tools, and it works worse than other tools that are out there, but it's mine, so it's kind of awesome, but I didn't. Both of these are pretty serious undertakings with a lot of considerations and design choices and technical challenges, and this was not going to be the hill I died on. What I actually did was a bunch of research, read a lot of technical documents, looked at a bunch of code, and played around with some other tools to share with the world. My first step into working on audio was from the Tonc sound introduction, which gives a little math and physics lesson to what sound actually is and the fundamentals of sound waves. And it builds a pretty good picture of what's happening to produce sound. Then there's a little demo using those sound generators that transferred over from the original Game Boy. A great intro into using those sound registers, but all the way at the bottom of the page, there's a link to the Deku sound mixing tutorial for creating your own sound mixer. This tutorial is it. It is end-to-end converting mod files to C and C++ data files, and a whole library of tools to read those data files on the GBA and start playing them, step by step with great explanations for what's going on. I won't lie, this document is a hard read. The information in it is amazing and well designed and awesome, but there's a lot of technical stuff with designing the mixing system to work well, working with all of the different GBA hardware registers for sounds and timers, and parsing mod audio files. If you're looking to build a robust sound mixer, this is the spot to look. One more resource I found while researching, which could be really helpful for designing your own sound mixer, is in the GBA Doc from gbadev.net. This page has some really good documentation for all the registers required to make sound on the GBA, and there are a lot of registers. For reference, to enable one background on the GBA, you need to set 2 different registers. To enable sound on one channel, you need to set 6 different registers at least. So knowing all of the registers is crucial to building your own sound mixer. The last tool I found is actually 2 tools, sorta. Included in DevKit Pro are the Maxmod library and the mmutil.exe. Together, these two will read your audio files in mod, IT, XM, and S3M formats, convert them into data files, and play them in your GBA files. And these are almost plug and play. The only thing you need to do as a developer is get your own audio files. Using these tools and some audio files from modarchive.org, I built a personal music device for the GBA. I use all the different formats for the audio files just to prove that they all work, and added some album covers I pulled from the internet as well to make it a little more colorful. Here you can listen to the audio files I used in the demo and the quality through the GBA speakers. These are not direct MP3 translations of songs, but all the instruments are samples that are then able to be pieced together to create the songs. I chose a few popular ones I recognized, but there are literally thousands of covers, remixes, and user-created songs on the site that are amazing. These audio files also have the ability to use the left and right audio channels, which you can only hear while using headphones on the GBA, but here's a sample of that using emulated audio. If you're interested in any of these resources, I'll put links to all of them in the description below. And if you're interested in looking at my little test application, I'll also put a link to the GitHub repository with all of the code and the release page for just the .gba files. If you like this video and you want to see more like this, subscribe. I post videos like this every other Sunday. And if there's a topic you want to see, let me know in the comments. All right. Thanks for watching.